How trainers, therapists, doctors, and coaches become confident kettlebell trainers in 10 weeks, helping them stand out from the crowd because they're mastering an ancient tool that has unlimited potential. What you are about to receive is the ultimate game plan on how to become a confident kettlebell coach in the next 10 weeks. And what's crazy, you only have to invest about 1 to 2 hours per week. You don't have to leave your home, and you can learn everything 100% online without any prior experience. Now, what does our law enforcement have in common with a physiotherapist's clinic that we were able to certify according to our standard last year? They both consider the kettlebell as a valuable tool. And it's not just them. This is Ola, she's a personal trainer. This is Mahmoud, he's an MMA specialist. And they both wanted to learn how the kettlebell truly works. When you learn what the kettlebell is all about, you realize that it's a completely different beast. It has unique potential and it stands its own ground compared to other training modalities. And if we don't have proper insights and we cannot get that knowledge from that lineage of kettlebell specialists of the world of physical culture, then we treat the kettlebell like a weird shaped dumbbell. So the long-term keys to success are 4 things. Number 1, learn form. This means you have to become a little bit more scientific, a little bit more mechanic, and now you have to lose yourself a little bit in that practice. And that leads to number 2. Now you have to practice form. Now you have the proper information. It's been distilled to you from legends, trainers, or folks in that sphere who understand what the kettlebell is all about. As soon as you've mastered number 1 and 2, you are now able to teach form because you truly understand what the kettlebell is all about. And then number 4, this is where masters reside, because finally now you can venture out on your own if you spent enough time with the tool. You've become a kettlebell expert, a kettlebell authority. And now if you venture out on your own, if you have a solid reason to do so, you can now start inventing form, and now you become yourself again. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask something very important. Do I have your attention? Because what I'm sharing with you right now is so powerful that you need to switch off your devices. Make sure you're highly focused, because you need a pen and a paper ready so you can take valuable notes. Because what I'm sharing with you right now is unique. I guarantee you've probably have never heard about the way we teach kettlebells before. It's a unique way. And there are experts behind what we do. It's not something that I just invented. There is evidence-based practice behind it, but it's so rare because most people do not understand, and even trainers and folks who've been in the field for a long time do not understand where the kettlebell comes from and where its true potential is. This is for you if you're a personal trainer who wants to teach kettlebells to his or her clients. This is for you if you want to specialize in kettlebell training and coaching. It is for you if you're a CrossFit coach and you want to deepen your knowledge. You're a therapist and you want to experience the therapeutic effect of kettlebells. If you're a doctor who's looking for a powerful tool to integrate into your medical practice. It is for you if you want to stand out from the crowd as a skilled kettlebell practitioner and teacher, and believe me, they are rare. It is for you if you want to become part of the new and modern revolution in kettlebell training. If you're not satisfied with the current landscape of kettlebell education and you're looking for alternatives. And it is for you if you want the option to choose in-person as well as 100% online coaching. It is for you if you've always been fascinated with kettlebell training and you want and need an open-minded approach to its education, because you understand that we cannot walk around with blinders on. We have to see what's happening. And then yes, we have to identify ourselves with our tribe to a certain extent, but this doesn't mean that everybody else is wrong now. It is for you if you've been struggling to learn and teach proper kettlebell training. You maybe are able to use kettlebells in your own practice, but you don't know how to program it and how to use and how to harness its powers for your clients. It is for you if you want to embrace no style as a style, no limitation as the limitation, according to Bruce Lee. It is for you if you despise the tribalist and divided thinking in physical culture and you're looking for a wholesome, practical kettlebell education. It is for you if you want to teach kettlebells confidently to people who never touched weights or even kettlebells before in their life. These people, this demographic needs a completely different approach. It is for you if you're looking for business strategies to boost your income as a kettlebell practitioner and educator, making you stand out from the crowd in the process. So my goal for today's training is I want you to learn how to program kettlebell workouts for even your least conditioned clients and master correct technique. I want you to be able to differentiate between hardstyle and kettlebell sport, teaching a flexible approach, using no style as a style and having no limitation as a limitation. You'll hear me say this often. I want you to improve your kettlebell skills as a CrossFit coach by specializing in the unique benefits of the Girevoy hybrid style for your athletes and clients. I want you to use effective strengthening methods based on scientific research to assist your patients in reducing or even eliminating pain. Yes, it's still a hypothesis, but we have lots of experience that shows that there is a therapeutic effect of kettlebells, and more therapists recognize this. It is for you if you want to take your athletes, students, and coaches' general physical preparedness, we call this GPP, to the next level by integrating potent conditioning workouts and techniques. So the fundamental reason why I've created this education is because I wasn't satisfied with the current kettlebell education landscape. And I share this information for free out of 3 reasons. Number 1, our mission is to spread the word about kettlebell training. Chances are you've heard about it, you're already using it. That's the reason why you're watching this video right now. And the typical gym model, I believe, has had its day because it doesn't deliver holistic and time-efficient results like the kettlebell does, especially for the age group, the demographic over 40 and over 50. Number 2, I want to educate more aspiring kettlebell trainers in our method because we're growing at a rapid pace, and I'm looking to hire powerful trainers from all around the world who understand where we come from and who practice what we preach. And number 3, many aspiring kettlebell trainers have asked to work with us after they realized the true potential of the Girevoy hybrid style. Now, if you follow all the steps in this video, you can't help but succeed because I'm giving you a roadmap. And imagine if you are in New York and now I'm giving you a roadmap to Los Angeles. What do you think? Are you going to end up in Houston? No, you're going to end up in Los Angeles if you're not distracted and go up and down and left and right. So what makes the kettlebell a unique tool? In a nutshell, it trains all human physical qualities at once. We say it touches all bases: strength, mobility, cardio, muscle, fat burn potential, flexibility, coordination. It is not the best tool, but I believe it's one of the best generalist tool, which makes it very efficient. Its GPP capabilities are unique. Like we've talked about just a couple of slides earlier, GPP means general physical preparedness. So if you want to bring your GPP up, just your basic condition of fitness, the kettlebell is a unique tool, and it does the job very well. You don't need lots of space, and many exercises are full body movements that replace a full gym. A clean and press, for example, replaces almost all machines in the gym. It has, hypothetically speaking, therapeutic effects on the core and joints. We see this. People who show up, especially that one particular exercise that I'm going to show you later down in that video, once we progress, it helps people remove low back pain issues. We can take care of strength in that regard. And Dr. Vladislav Krajewski once said that strength is the natural companion of health. It restores the body's elasticity that many lose over time. And that elasticity question is so interesting. That's why lots of weightlifting scientists recommend to always go into full flexion. Do not limit bending. Because this is how you create a so-called wrapping effect, for example, in the knees. And this might help restore elasticity and remove that negative internal resistance. Now, what is the Girevoy hybrid style? In a nutshell, it is a continuation of Steve Carter's foundational training philosophy. It's a passing of the torch from one generation to the next, where knowledge flows down the lineage of physical culturists. And now, since you're watching this video, you're now the next funnel who is embracing that knowledge. And this is how solid information is funneled down the line. It is a philosophy, including but not limited to the principles of hardstyle and kettlebell sport. These are 2 dominant spheres in the kettlebell world. They do exist. We recognize it, and we mix them. That's why we call ourselves hybrid. It is a breaking down of 2 crucial components of human physical abilities, and that is tension and relaxation. You have to understand that with kettlebells, yes, there is still tension involved, but You flow with the movement. You become one with the kettlebell. You don't grab it, you attach it to your frame, which means you're now attaching weight to your skeleton, which turns kettlebell training into weighted locomotion. So we have to become a little bit more loose, and we have to understand when to contract when it's needed, not all the time. We recognize the strength endurance capabilities and a universal GPP approach as the distinctive characteristics of kettlebell training. This means I consider the kettlebell as a strength endurance tool most of the time because we're using lighter weights or semi-heavy weights with higher reps. And it echoes Bruce Lee's philosophy of having no way as a way and using no limitation as a limitation. And the word Girevoy means in Russian pertaining to kettlebells. So what I'm trying to introduce you to is rather an art form than a style, a circle with no circumference, a formless form, an artless art, a changeless change. And what I'm sharing right now when I read to you is from an excerpt from an ebook called The Girevoy Code. This is the ebook that you're probably just downloaded. It says, while mechanics are still part of the picture, learning mechanics and understanding how to do the exercises, learning the basic skills, basic necessities, they are exactly this. They are basic necessities to understand and learn a skill, not scripture of canon that allow no deviation from the intended path. Because oftentimes, this is the problem of the fitness industry, and in the kettlebell industry, it's even more entrenched where we say, no, you do it differently. Oh, you do it differently. This is wrong because this is the way to do it. No, human beings move differently. We all have a unique way of training and moving. And we have to factor in that individual difference. And this is part of the 3 stages of cultivation that we teach in our kettlebell education process that can be summed up like this. Master the basics and venture out on your own if you have found a good enough reason to do so. Remember, learn form, then practice form, teach form, and then you can deviate from it and invent form. And Bruce Lee describes my idea of the Girevoy hybrid style eloquently and fittingly in the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. He says, it is not a question of developing what has already been developed, but recovering what has been left behind. This is so powerful. He goes on to say that while learning is important, we have to understand the skills. Yes, we have to understand the science. We have to understand the mechanics. You don't want to become its slave. Since being obsessed with this learning state, that there's only one way to do it and everything else is wrong, or being obsessed with a certain style for that matter, becomes an ensnaring disease instead of a liberating experience. Now in part number 1, we're going to address how the biggest mistake of the fitness industry is your biggest opportunity. You see, I worked for years as a gym instructor, and I was absolutely frustrated that out of all the people who sign up for a gym membership, over 80% either don't succeed, quit after 3 weeks, or find it absolutely boring. I've spent years in the gym, on the gym floor, and I enjoyed it. But I was wondering why we have a box filled with names and schedules and plans and training programs, over 1,000 people in that little box, but I always see the same couple of faces. And I was wondering. So years later, I noticed a pattern that explains why this is the case, and the upshot of that pattern, to make it easy to understand, the typical gym model does not deliver results for the over 40 demographic. And there's lots of reasons, such as the lack of personal care, bad trainers, and an economic model that banks on people's laziness. And we know that that's the case because the typical gym signs up more people than they could ever handle if everybody would show up at once. And there's a reason for this. Also, the traditional gym model is not time efficient, and its training philosophy is built on an ancient bodybuilding system that came with the rise of Arthur Jones' Nautilus revolution. If you're having fun with the bodybuilding approach, by all means, go ahead and do it. But we cannot negate the fact that it takes 90 minutes of work to spend 20 to 30 minutes under tension. And for people who are short on time, this is not an efficient investment. So this creates a huge market for a specific demographic that we are serving. Men and women over 40, especially over 50. The more that I realized, and the more that I do this, the more I realize it's the over 50s and even the over 60s who gravitate towards kettlebells. and they're fed up with the gym. I've spent money on the gym membership. It doesn't work. I do it every New Year's resolution. I try to go, I try to do it, but I can't succeed. And these are the ones who want to train from home, and they're looking for time-efficient fitness that covers all human physical qualities. And I believe this is the modern revolution of fitness. The pandemic brought that in to a certain extent. We're going to talk about this in a second. And I believe that we realize nowadays you can do almost everything at home. And if we're looking for a tool that does everything all at once, the kettlebell is one of the best generalist tools out there. And I think that's the reason why normal people flock to this powerful tool. And this is what they're looking for. So the kettlebell offers you increased fat burning potential because we spend more time on the tension. We burn more calories. We can cover strength. We can cover cardiovascular training and fitness. We can cover mobility and flexibility. And the kettlebell touches space with all these qualities in the same workout. And data from our YouTube channel shows, with over 60 million views in the last 8 years and over 161 million impressions, that, as you can see, 35, 45, 55, 60-year-olds, these are the folks who are interested in kettlebells. It is the middle-aged person with a family or with an intense job or both, and they want to take care of their fitness. But once your clients tap into the potential of kettlebells, they're able to get twice the results in half the time. They can take their fitness into their own hands. They can build muscle, burn fat, strengthen the heart, and improve coordination all at the same time. And they have their own gym and can train in the comfort of their own home. And kettlebells have this holistic approach where every muscle group has to work in harmony with each other. The body tends to like this, hence the enjoyment goes through the roof, hence people stick with it. And now you might ask yourself, so what do they need from me? So what do they need from a professional kettlebell coach? A helpful hand to learn the skills, an empathetic coach who cares for them, not just form. I've had lots of conversations with coaches, and we recognize and realize from all over the world, from different walks of life, from different trains of thought, they recognize and realize that form looks different for everybody. You're a motivational powerhouse that holds them accountable, and you're a trusted source that has specialized in a specific field. But why should you even listen to a single word that I am saying? My name is Girevoy. I'm the founder of Lebe stock, and I'm a globally recognized kettlebell expert, and I'm a pioneer in the Girevoy hybrid style approach as a new method of kettlebell training. I have my own gym. We train people in that gym. We have a YouTube channel, sits close to 100,000 subscribers. We got over 6 million views in 2023 alone, and over 16 million views in the last 8 years since we started this channel. We have over 6,000 enrollments on our Kettlebell Course Academy. I'm featured on Udemy. Udemy is a worldwide recognized learning platform, and we have been featured in lots and lots of newspapers in Switzerland, in fitness magazines, in Europe, in Germany. Here I was in Bern. I was presenting at the University of Bern, teaching them about kettlebells. I've also been the coach of Felix Baumgartner from Red Bull Stratus. You might remember the guy who jumped down from space in 2012 under the banner of Red Bull Stratus. It was the first YouTube live event. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was a powerful event. And we educate kettlebell trainers from all around the world. This is Ola. This is our local police force. This is Mahmoud. This is a physiotherapist clinic who wanted to get certified according to our standards. And I get asked all the time for coaching and seminars from all around the world. So since 15 years, I'm an enthusiastic proponent of physical culture and a passionate fan of kettlebells for at least 5 years, but it wasn't always this way. This is how I got started. And I turned it into this body that I have today. It's not just the looks, it's also the feeling, the fitness, the health, the longevity. I focus on this. And I was 15 years younger, and you might realize this. Lots of your clients, they say, well, you know, I'm over 40, over 50, over 60. It's gone. Time's over. No, it's not. There's a scientific study with over 50 scientists that shows that our metabolism does not slow down until we're 60 years old. And even then, it only slows down about 1% per year, which is almost like nothing. My enough is enough moment. You have maybe experienced this in your life as well. Maybe your clients are familiar with this. And I had no desire to be out of shape, weak, and feel unfit anymore. And I absolutely had to do something about my back pain. And just so you know, I was a complete novice with kettlebells like everybody else. Then I decided to take my fitness and kettlebell journey seriously. I realized that I'm hitting a roadblock. I realized that I have to understand that I cannot teach myself how the kettlebell works through watching videos alone. So then when I discovered the kettlebell and I got coaching from the legendary Steve Carter, I told myself I'm going to do this for the rest of my life because it covers everything that I need and with minimal time investment, and I want to become a specialized authority in that area of modern kettlebell training with cutting-edge training philosophies. And I want to discover every single, even the smallest detail about the kettlebell. And for this, I speak with every kettlebell authority that I can find. And like I told you, I've been certified by the legendary Steve Carter, who was in the beginning days of RKC, who then went on to found the IKFF. And from there, I took it to the world. So we now have a podcast where I was able to have over close to 80 conversations with kettlebell legends such as Sergey Rudnev, Jeff Newport, Gregor Sobochan, Valery Fedorenko, Arseny Zhernakov. The reason why I talk to these people is simple. I want to learn from everybody, listen to everybody, and then follow the Bruce Lee approach. Take what is interesting and discard that thing that doesn't fit my mentality or my philosophy. But here's the beautiful thing. As we learn and as we age and as we grow wiser, maybe now it doesn't fit, but maybe in a couple of years it fits. So since we are in this kettlebell evolution, I don't walk around saying I have the absolutes. But what I do know is that I have scientific background, I have the mechanics in place, but still I'm open to learn from everybody. So I've invested over 10 years of my time and now almost 100,000 Swiss francs in my knowledge, our studio equipment, the production line of our own kettlebells, and the establishment of an international kettlebell network. And since then, we have helped thousands of men and women over 40 around the world to become strong, lean, and pain-free. And this is the life it allows me to lead. And why is that? Why can I do what I do now? Why can I take my hobby and turn it into a very profitable profession that me and my family can now live off of? It's very simple. It is because we deliver what we promise. I became a kettlebell specialist, and I'm teaching its potential to over 40s from all around the world. And now let me make this clear. I don't say this to brag. The reason I'm saying this is I want you to understand that I'm not an armchair expert that you're now just see for the first time on Facebook or Instagram, and I have no experience, no foundation, no data to back my claims upon on. I have been around for quite some time, and the knowledge has been distilled to me from the lineage of physical culturists and kettlebell enthusiasts and practitioners who know what they're talking about. When I got certified with Steve in 2019, I was able to experience an epiphany moment, and I was able to increase my level of confidence to a level that I can now hold my own ground. And this is exactly what I want to teach to you. I want to help you become a confident kettlebell practitioner and educator in the next 10 weeks so you can experience exactly that same moment that I had in 2019. As you can see, I'm already getting dressed because now it becomes a little bit more physical. In part number 2, I'm going to show you the 3 elements of success. Now, if you put these elements to work, you're laying the most important foundations of an elite kettlebell coach. I'm using these elements on a daily basis throughout the whole year, and it grants me, and even more importantly, our clients, powerful results, which makes them come back and makes them want to stay and keep working with us. And of course, there are many more smaller moving parts and final details within them. However, these 3 core elements serve as guideposts so that you understand, all right, these are the principles that elite kettlebell trainers use. Element number 1 is how to train. Remember when I taught you about how you have to learn form, then practice form, then teach form, and then you can invent form? Now we are at level 1 or maybe at level 2 already. Understanding these exercises is crucial, but I don't want to go into much detail because this is outside the scope of this video. What I'm going to show you with element number 1, how to train, is the fundamental 8. The fundamental 8 are 8 exercises that we do on a daily basis with all of our clients from all around the world throughout the whole year. So let's check out exercise number 1 is the deadlift. Watch. If you have a keen eye, you might have already observed that I'm doing a little variation of the deadlift, and that is a hang deadlift where the kettlebell doesn't touch the floor. And just as a small side note, minor variations are always key and you can always use them. However, the fundamental principles is always the same foundation, and that's the fundamental 8. Exercise number 2, the row. Watch. Again, you're already observing this is a hang row, again where the kettlebell doesn't touch the floor. Exercise 3, the goblet squat. One of the best squat variations that you can do. And while it includes the word squat, I would consider it a full body exercise, which almost all of these exercises are. Exercise number 4, the reverse lunge. And exercise number 5, the final exercise of this category that we call the grinds or the grinding lifts is a strict press. Especially with kettlebell training, you're going to do lots and lots of pressing. The final 3 of the fundamental 8 belong to the category of the ballistics. And the ballistics are unique to kettlebell training. They require and include the so-called ballistic element, where we work with momentum. Momentum requires your body or the body of your clients to produce lots of strength when it comes to the stabilizer work. Because the kettlebell drops, it falls, we have to catch it, we have to work with it. So stability is a major question. We can also work for an indefinite amount of time if you understand the solid and proper technique. And here's where the key element comes into play that I've shared in the beginning of this video, and that is we don't grab the kettlebell, but we attach it to the frame. Very interesting concept with exercise number 7 and 8. But now let's look at exercise number 6, part 1 of the ballistics, the hand-to-hand swing. Watch. There's nothing quite like this unique flow element attached to this solid Girevoy hybrid style training when you jump into the ballistics. Exercise number 7, the clean and press. I'm going to make it easy for you to understand. We have 3 variations in here with exercise number 7. I'm going to show you the clean and strict press first. You understand the strict press from this exercise before. And now as a keen observer, you understand that we are putting 2 exercises together and creating one. Watch. Variation number 2, the clean and push press. And the final variation, the clean and jerk. Again, as you already are probably hearing, is the importance of breathing. Without trying to go outside the scope of this video and wasting too much time on technique, because I want to give you this bird's eye perspective. Breathing is key in kettlebell training. Exercise number 8, the final one of the fundamental 8, the snatch. Watch. As you can see, fluid and beautiful movements that you are melting together. And all of these set pieces of exercises, especially with the ballistics, they are complex in nature. And there's lots of phases that you have to understand in order to power through these exercises. And again, here comes into play a good coach who understands the value of teaching the skill of the exercise without overloading the client and slapping him or her over the head with the textbook of learning how to do the skill, but giving just enough of a foundation for the client to think, to practice, and to train. And that's the fundamental 8 that we use on an annual basis with our clients that deliver powerful results and that I believe tap into the unique potential of what the kettlebell has to offer. It's so-called USP. Element number 2 is the proper tool. You have lots of options on the kettlebell market. Cast iron, competition, hollow core, and we have found that over the years, there's one kettlebell that emerges as the champion when it comes to handling and flow feeling, and that is the Pro Kettlebell. I want to demonstrate to you what the Pro Kettlebell looks like. So what we have here is contoured arm pockets, so they fit your forearm perfectly in the clean and the snatch, which is a great addition for beginners. It also serves as a great teacher, because if I don't clean and rack the kettlebell properly, or snatch for that matter, this protruding bump is telling me that I'm not doing it correctly. Then we have this great handle finish, and this finish allows you to increase friction, so you don't have to use a lot of chalk while also being soft on your palm skin, because you don't want to turn your palm skin into hamburger meat. Granted, it requires some getting used to in the forearm and in the palm skin for you as well as for your clients, but we can mitigate this. And finally, the hollow core, as you can see, is a little bit different than the usual ones. So this means the kettlebell has lots of stability when it's on the floor for body weight exercises like this, for example. Plus, it also serves as a second grip where we can use it for powerful kettlebell exercises that serve themselves well, especially for beginners. Now, what's also great about the Pro Kettlebell is that it's ergonomically designed. Hollow core means that the weight in here sits closer to the handle above. So the kettlebell is not bottom heavy, which means it doesn't rip you apart as the kettlebell is dropping into the backswing. And it also means that, especially for the ballistic exercises, which you have now learned is the USP of kettlebell training, with the hollow core, and especially with the Pro Kettlebell, the weight sits closer to your center of mass, which enhances that flow feeling that you get from the ballistic exercises. You have to invest a little bit more when it comes to a Pro Kettlebell, but when you work with kettlebells on a regular basis with your clients, it is paid off immediately. So it's not just about how to wield the tool, but how to choose the perfect tool. And with element number 3, I want to show you one of the best training methods that we use to design kettlebell workouts. I believe there is a particular method behind the madness, so to speak, that is very conducive to kettlebell training. Since you now understand that in our way, how we interpret kettlebell training, we consider it rather a strength endurance tool that touches almost all bases of human physical qualities. And the method that I want to share with you in this video is called the circuit method. The circuit method is very easy to use. It is easy to coach, as well as easy to understand for your clients. Because if you use too many exercises and you use a myriad of training protocols, while you think that you're giving your clients some needed variety, because you might believe that they find the training boring, I can tell you that, like I've mentioned before, we use the same 10 to maybe 20 exercises. I've given you the fundamental 8, and then when it's variations, it's a little bit more throughout the whole year, and we use always the same or similar training protocols. So the circuit method works like this. I have this big timer behind me, and we have 3 exercises that we choose as the base. The base that we're using, that we call as the classic, or that we consider a classic circuit method, is the hand-to-hand swing, the clean and press, and the snatch. Yes, they are a little bit more advanced, but if you break it down, you can even show it to your beginner clients so that they understand what the circuit method is all about. Now, these 3 exercises work simple. We do them for 2 minutes each. This equals 6 minutes of work. This is 1 set. After 1 set, we rest for 1 minute, and we do 4 sets total. Now, you can even break this down and say, okay, 2 minutes is too much. Let's start with 90 seconds. Let's start with 1 minute. Let's start with 30 seconds. You can start where your client, or maybe you are, and then go from there. So the timer starts running, and as you can see, it counts down from 2 minutes. So then we are engaging into the hand-to-hand swing. And the idea is to swing continuously for 2 minutes. This allows you as a coach to give armor-piercing cues, sharp and very concise. You don't have to count reps. The client doesn't have to count reps. And they can just focus on form, technique, and the flow feeling. In an unbroken fashion, the second exercise follows. And in this case, we would say it is a alternating clean and press, where we switch sides after every rep. This would look like this. So then the final exercise hits once the timer strikes 0, and then we hit the snatch. And in this case, it's only 1 minute, because we say, let's try a snatch 1 minute per side. And once we've achieved this, the timer strikes 0, we're switching sides, and we continue on. And then the timer stops. We have completely finished 1 round or 1 set, and then we rest for 1 minute, and then the next round begins. You can then mix and match these 3 slots and say, okay, let's use the first slot for 2 minutes, or let's break it down for 1 minute, the goblet squat. The second slot, a hang row, where we switch the volume equally between both sides. And then finally, maybe even a farmer's walk. Finally, with the bonus section, I want to show you how to get clients and how to build your business. Granted, I'm not a marketing expert. I haven't studied this field like I've studied the kettlebell, but I've done some marketing courses. And yes, while there's other people who are more qualified to talk about this, and I highly recommend you to get coaching from these people and buy these courses and understand how marketing works, I want to give you an upshot of the situation. You have one pipeline that we call the organic or warm pipeline. These are people who get in touch with your content, who then already know you, and then you give them a possibility to raise their hand that they're interested in what you're offering, and then you do your best to convert them into a client. In this case, when we talk about YouTube, which is a big part of our business, on the left-hand side, we have a YouTube video where I demonstrate my expertise or I talk about a given topic. In that YouTube video, I drop a high-value content offer where I say, hey, download the Kettlebell code or the Girevoy code if you're interested in getting coaching or getting certified as a kettlebell coach. And if that person downloads the ebook, this tells me that this person is interested. So they raise their hand that they're interested in getting these services, or at least on an adjacent front, they think what I have to offer might sound interesting. Then they land on the landing page where, again, I demonstrate my expertise and talk about the specific pain points that my demographic is experiencing. And from there, I try to leverage the audience to apply now to book a call with me so we can then find out if we are a good fit. This took me a long time to build. The YouTube channel is now 8 years old and we're close to 100,000 subscribers, but it's a lot of hard work. The other avenue, or the second pipeline, is an advertising pipeline. This is where you try to leverage a cold audience, which is way harder to do because these people don't know you, and some of them are not even aware that they have a problem. They're not even aware that they have a solution, but this is the big portion of the market where not a lot of people are focusing on. So how does it work here? It's almost exactly the same. Step 2, 3, and 4 are the same, but step 1 is different. You place an advertisement, an ad on Facebook or Google or YouTube, and then you want people to click on this. The most important part about this is that you know your target audience to the T. So you can speak about their problems, their issues that they're having, and then they feel compelled to click on the ad. And then if they go to the next step where they download your ebook or your high value content offer, they enter your funnel, and from there it goes down the line where you hopefully are able to convert them into a paying client. And since we have implemented the system, we speak to 20 to 30 prospects per month who are interested in getting coaching from us. So what this creates is an automated pipeline of prospects that you can then talk to, and know these are not cold leads that you just call up and say, hey, are you interested in getting coaching from a kettlebell trainer? These are people who are already interested. They already raised their hand, and from then you have to put in some work to convert them into a client, but it is definitely possible that you can create this pipeline of people flooding into your business that you then want to convert into paying clients. And the result of momentum is what I call this business practice, is that we have been able to double our revenue compared to the first quarter of 2023. So this is a very powerful system that requires a lot of work to set up, but just for you to understand, it is possible that you don't have to live in this constant worry or in the feast or famine principle where 1 month it's awesome and the next month it's crazy. You make almost no money. And all of the revenue and the profits that you've built in the last month are now eaten up in the following month because you almost have no business walking through your door. But I do understand that it's pretty easy to feel overwhelmed and forget some of the key points. And what I've shared with you is only the tip of the iceberg. I would lie to you if I can tell you, okay, listen, it's just that 1 hour webinar and you're 100% golden and solid. Let's go out there and coach people. What I wanted to do is give you a bird's eye perspective for you to understand what are the key elements that elite kettlebell trainers focus on. Now, you might be thinking, all right, Gregory, I need your help in order to become a confident kettlebell educator. And if that's the case, I can help you. In part 4, we're going to talk about the truth. If you want to become a confident kettlebell coach, this requires knowledge that is passed down through generations of physical culturists. The top of the pyramid, the elite, has to funnel down that knowledge through a lineage of physical culturists and kettlebell practitioners. And if you want to be in line in that lineage, I can most definitely help you, because I would have never achieved the accolades if it wasn't for this moment on a hot summer day in June 2019, when Steve Carter, the legend, decided to fly in from San Diego to Switzerland to certify Angie and me and give us the keys to the kingdom. And once we've acquired those keys, we've hit the ground running. So what you want to do right now is you want to invest in coaching and mentorship so you can learn from the best. Because let me ask you this question. Would you climb Mount Everest without gear, Sherpas, help, or guidance? No, that's a suicide mission. So why do you think you can become a confident kettlebell coach on your own through watching videos. And I want to say this respectfully and with a lot of love. You can try this on your own, but real recognize real. When I talk to kettlebell experts from around the world, we share a mutual respect because we talk about the same thing. Yes, we might disagree in some areas, but on the fundamentals, on canon, we agree. And as practitioners, we know exactly who understands technique and who doesn't. You see, I've spent over 100K in learning, acquiring knowledge, and getting that coaching from the best folks out there. It's not just the money that I've invested, but also the time. And I can give you that shortcut so you can bypass trial and error and find a system that works in real life. And as I've mentioned in the beginning, we educate kettlebell trainers from all around the world. And if you want to become the next coach who wants to get not just certified, because you can get a cert any day. There's so many institutions out there, but you want to become a true, confident kettlebell educator and teacher, I believe that's the way for you. And if you want to keep that experience going that you're now just acquiring, and you're thinking, wow, I actually like what Gregory's talking about, and I feel that this resonates with me, this is the way to go. Let me share the path of the hybrid. It is for trainers, CrossFit coaches, therapists, physios, and doctors. You want to become part of the new, modern, and cutting-edge revolution in kettlebell training. You want to get coaching either in person, you're welcome to join us in the gym, or 100% online, and you don't need no experience. So now you have three options. Option number one is the Girevoy Hybrid Workshop. This teaches the basics, techniques, and intricacies together in a group class, for example, in medical practices, physiotherapies, or fitness studios. It is perfect for clinics, gyms, CrossFit boxes, and medical practices who want to teach themselves as well as their staff in a group setting. So this includes a full-day seminar, 8 hours of teaching with me, where you learn everything you need to know about the Girevoy hybrid style, a confirmation of attendance for participants and the location, an opportunity to film the event for future learning, and a 10% discount on one pro kettlebell of choice for each participant. It does not include one free kettlebell shipped to your doorstep, access to the online base course, an oral examination, a fitness skill test, a demonstration of key metrics in coaching beginners, or a diploma. The next option would be the Girevoy Hybrid Specialist Level 1. Beyond the basics, this requires passing an oral examination and a specific fitness and skill test. This is perfect for individuals who are looking for a personalized learning experience to deepen their knowledge and earn a certificate in their name. Level 1 includes access to the online course material, email and WhatsApp support through the certification process. This is a direct line of communication with us. An orientation call to prep for the tests, and these calls happen via Zoom or in gym. An oral examination, fitness and skill tests, a diploma, and a 50% discount off one pro kettlebell of your choice. It does not include one free pro kettlebell of your choice, a full year mentorship with me, a demonstration of key metrics in coaching beginners. And now here comes option 3, the ultimate path if you want to go all in when it comes to your kettlebell education. The Girevoy Hybrid Specialist Level 2. It involves a comprehensive mentoring with me, and additionally, it requires for you to demonstrate that you can coach beginners. This is perfect for individuals who want the exact same learning experience I had when Steve Cotter personally certified Angie and me in June 2019. This includes everything: access to the online course material, email and WhatsApp support, orientation call to prep for the tests, the oral examination, fitness and skill tests, demonstration of key metrics in coaching beginners, a diploma, one free pro kettlebell shipped to your doorstep, and a full year mentorship with me. That's about 15 to 20 sessions, either via Zoom or in gym. So this is the base. The online course material is the base that you want to work through. This is where you get all the information and the knowledge. With the coaching, we're going to talk one-on-one, have conversations to deepen that knowledge, and at the end, you have to demonstrate your teaching capabilities. And this all depends on the path that you want to take right now. So here's what you learn. You're going to learn fundamentals, the essence of the Girevoy hybrid style, the essence of kettlebell training, scientific principles. We're going to talk about theory, fundamentals of training, practice preparation. We're going to talk about the grinding lifts, notable mentions, ballistics, the swing, the clean and press, the snatch, classic versus modern variant, double kettlebells. We're going to talk about bodyweight must-haves. You're going to get access to the full seminar that I had with Steve Carter. Personally, when he certified Angie and me in June 2019, 3.5-hour seminar. We're going to explain all the intricate details. And these are the topics. For example, I'm going to explain why the kettlebell is a Swiss knife of training modalities. I'm going to show you complementary training methods. I'm going to show you what the perfect kettlebell is. I'm going to explain what intent over style means. I'm going to talk about scientific soft and hard facts. I'm going to talk about the Girevoy hybrid style philosophy, the therapeutic effects of kettlebell training. We're going to talk about from the outside in, understanding what it means. If you want to take a step away from yourself and look at the big picture, the bird's eye perspective. We're going to talk about this beautiful concept that I call the oak tree, the flag, and the bamboo. We're going to talk about training methods, workout designs, the secret to kettlebell training, the 3 stages of cultivation inspired by Bruce Lee, breathing, grip, setup, stoppage, wrist orientation, alignment, center of mass, roll of discomfort, the pro kettlebell, and much, much more. You're going to walk away from this course being fully informed with information that has been tested in the fire of working with real clients. It's not just understanding kettlebell workout design, it's going down that rabbit hole of wanting to find out what the kettlebell is all about. And if this sounds like the educational experience you're looking for, you have to click the Apply Now button right now if you scroll down and schedule your coach consult with me and my team. So here's how this works. You click on the Apply Now button for the coach consult, which happens via Zoom. You schedule a call if your application is accepted. We talk for 30 to 45 minutes. We figure out how we can help you. If we're a good fit, I'll let you know. If we're not a good fit, I'll also let you know. And this is not a high-pressure sales call. It is a value-driven roadmap where I want to find out where you are and give you strategies to help you overcome your obstacles right now. You'll be taken to a short questionnaire where you can apply right now if you click that button. But, important, it is not for you if you're not ready to invest into your education, time-wise as well as financially. If you cannot commit yourself to a learning schedule, you can't join our Zoom classes on a regular schedule, and you're looking for overnight success. This is not possible. The coach consult is valued at over $500, but it's 100% free for you with no obligation to join the certification process. And why is this free? Because many people who talk to us, they are begging to become clients and to jump into that certification process because they see the value that we're able to provide. Now, here's a fair warning. We receive 20 to 30 applications per month, and we have paying clients to attend to. That's why spots are limited, because we are a very small and dedicated team. So here's what to do next. If you want to get started, you click the Apply Now button right now to fill out the form. You have 2 choices. Number 1, you go at it alone. You try to do this without the proven roadmap, without the answers or proper education. You procrastinate and tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to do this later. We all do this. You guess your way through this without a proven system. You play Russian roulette with your future as a kettlebell practitioner as well as a kettlebell educator. You lose mountains of money and time trying to figure it out on your own. You hope and pray that something changes and that you reach the promised land. Option number 2, you get it right for the first time. You get the proven system and a roadmap with a proven track record with a shortcut to success. You give yourself every possible advantage. You get every tip, every hack, every shortcut, and every unfair advantage. You eliminate the guesswork. You get it right for the first time. You skip trial and error and the insanely expensive learning curve, and you choose the proven path to the promised land. There's only one question now. Which one is it? If it is number 2, I can't wait for you to click the Apply Now button. And if your application is accepted, we're going to have a powerful conversation, which I'm guaranteeing you is going to change the way you look at kettlebells. And if we find that we're a good fit, I can't wait to have you get started with one of the best kettlebell educations out there on the market.